Hello, viewers, and welcome to one more episode of the Enoch generation, a generation that walks with God. So, in our last three episodes, we've been listening to Juliet Sylvester's walk with the Lord and the wonderful encounters, the way the supernatural opened out for her. So, today she's going to start off from where she stopped in the last episode, and she will continue with her journey and her supernatural encounters. So, welcome to you. And it was very interesting to listen to all your encounters that you had. And I was so amazed, and I had so many questions to ask you. I'm waiting to listen to you, from you about your encounter in heaven. And how did you have these travels to heaven, and what did you see, and when exactly did all this happen to you?
Recently there was a special meeting at our church, and the preacher came and he prayed over me, and it was very noisy around me and I couldn't hear what he prayed over me. But when I went home, I was really struggling to figure out where I was.
Okay.
Because I was with a lot of people at a long table, people around, counseling and discussing important things, and I was serving them. He came home for dinner that night, and there were some more people also. So I was helping people at home to serve. So I was making dosa for them. So I really found it difficult, because the next moment I'd be somewhere else, sitting with those people, discussing very important things.
When you tell me this, all I can think of is you've traveled into the council room of God.
Maybe. Yes, maybe. So I couldn't understand where I was
Where
really.
the major decisions are
Yes,
made.
is something happening to me? Am I all right? So I ran to him and I asked him, "What did you do to me?" I asked. Exactly, I put this question. What did you do to me? He asked me, "Why, auntie? Why are you asking?" No, I'm at two places and something is happening to me. I'm with a lot of different people and I'm here also. So I'm not able to think clearly. I'm not able to figure out where I am. What did you do? Initially he said, "I don't remember, auntie. Give me some time. I don't remember what I actually prayed for you." Then he said, "Yes, now, after you're sharing this, now I remember. From this time onwards, yes, you will be visiting heaven often."
Wow.
So after some time, I couldn't manage at all. It was really very difficult. Maybe since that was the first time that I was in two different realms at a time.
But that's very interesting, when you know you are on earth, and at the same time you know you are in a different realm also.
Yes. So I went to my daughter's house and I sat there, and my son came and he said, "Mummy, cool down, it's okay. You're all right. Nothing has gone wrong with you.
We'll manage this also. You cool down.
Yes, cool down. Enjoy. Don't think that something strange is happening to you. Just enjoy. Be calm." Yes. From that day onwards, that started repeating such things.
Okay.
Yes. After that, twice it happened.
Okay.
Yes.
So, have you gone to specific places in heaven? Have you received specific instructions when you went to heaven? How was it?
Often, as you said, that council room, and one day I was at the door, and somebody called me, and I turned back, and I told the person, the angel, yes, at the entrance, I said, "I'll finish that and come back."
So you didn't tell them, "Wait, I would go there." You told the angel,
Yes.
"Wait and come back."
Yes. No, really strange. Enjoyable and very normal. So you need not be. Those days I used to, when people used to say, people like Brother Dinagaran used to talk about this experiences. I used to think, oh, you must be, yes, somebody unique, somebody different, somebody of a different make, holy, holy. Now I know I am an ordinary person, down to earth, yes, waiting to serve people and enjoying, yes, serving my children and grandchildren, my husband, yes, sometimes even my neighbors, yes. The, as I told you, it's not me walking with God, just being aware of the fact that God is walking with me.
Was it at specific times, like I've heard people say when they hit the lows, God takes them up to cheer them up, show them heaven, you know, and sometimes when they're in a hopeless state, he takes them there, gives them instructions. Some people who've lost their dear ones, he takes them there and shows them, that they're safe with me and things like that. Was it at any specific times like that in your life that you had these encounters which change your perspective?
And nowadays, he has been doing that with songs.
Okay.
With songs. At the most inappropriate moment, he would give me a song about joy.
Wow.
One day I was standing in a funeral ground. At that time, he started singing, Anandam ni, Anandam ni. I said, not here, Lord, not here.
So you instructed the
yes,
Lord.
Yes, and what a song. You say
So
Anandam.
you were trying to tell him what he has to sing
yes,
where.
Yes. Anandam, Per Anandam, not here, not now, not now. Yes. Sometimes I'll be taking money out of my purse to give the cab driver. Yes. Yes, I'll get a tune and the first line.
Okay.
And people would be talking to me over the phone. They'll be narrating something and I'll be singing a song. Yes. And after the telephonic conversation, I would sit and write the song and send the song to that person. That person would say, it's exactly my life.
Wow.
Yes. And often nowadays he's been doing that. The entire situation will look different for me. The moment he gives the song, I'll be singing and doing work. And the tiredness will be gone. Yes, both physical and mental. And the sadness will be gone.
You feel kind of very refreshed after the whole thing.
Very much refreshed. And I'll be able to do the work of, say, 2 or 3 persons.
But do you know music? Have you learned music or anything like that?
No, not at all.
Okay. So all of a sudden these songs started flowing in.
Yes.
And you had no idea of music or anything related to music?
Very rarely, without words, he would give me the tune. And you've just given me the tune, Lord. He'll mention the theme.
Okay.
One day he said, Talavadangal, for which I never knew the meaning. Then I referred, and Talavadangal means it's provisions, it seems. Provisions. And Talavadangal is a word which I have come across when I read Saul's history, King Saul.
Yeah.
Yes. And Talavadangal andayil ulindu kondirikkiran. I confused that with Tandavalam. Yes.
So he gave the word to somebody who didn't know the meaning of the word also.
Then I understood it's a place, it seems, where you have all kinds of provisions. A
storehouse.
Medical, even the provisions which the military force would require.
Okay.
Yes, and they have the logistics also. So on the place, it's called Talavadangal. And for which he gave me only the tune. Then I sang.
So you could see him as your provider when you wrote.
Yes.
And that storehouse is open for you.
Yes. Then and at that time, he gave me a tune. When I went to went to wash my hands, I was in a hotel, and at that time he gave me a tune. See, here, how can I record? Then I would record. People would be... yes.
So how do you record your tunes?
Immediately, I'll go...
With your phone?
Yes. I'll record like that.
So you just hum it?
Yes. And he said, you've given me only the tune, Lord. He said, Psalm 133. Psalm 133 is so tiny. How can I compose a song out of that? You know what happened? Psalm 133 talks about,
Brethren living together in
yes,
unity.
at that time a person had come all the way from New Zealand just to comfort us, to say hello to us, and spend a day with us. So God gave me the tune and He said 133. Only then I realized.
Okay. So have you shared all these encounters with your family?
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
So
Some
how-
of them, some of
How
them.
do they enjoy listening to what you tell them?
Yes, some of them. And mm, sometimes we have a family group.
Okay.
Yes, I'll put there. Sometimes as a family we would sit, yes, and discuss it. And one day he gave me a song about Peter,
Okay.
Alaikadal Meedil.
Mm.
And I asked God, why should I write about Peter? Yes, if I write about you, yes, then he asked me, oh, there is no resemblance, there are no similarities at all? He asked me. I said, yes. He betrayed you only once. I betray you, yes, around 300 times a day. See, whenever you doubt him, whenever you're sad, whenever you're worried, you
Yeah,
betray.
exactly.
Yes,
And we don't even think we do it.
yes, I wrote the first stanza.
Mhm.
Then, in your broken moments, yes, hadn't I visited you? Yes, yes, you came. Second stanza, third stanza. So, within 1.5 minutes, that song was
Done.
composed. Yes, done.
And how long have you been having this experience of writing these lyrics?
Around 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Okay, so it just happened suddenly.
All of a sudden, one day I was returning from a cottage meeting. Yes, I was coming in the auto with my husband. That was the first time I started singing the whole song with the tune.
So then you quickly note it down.
Yes, I'll come back. Sometimes it will happen in flight. Sometimes it will happen in the bus. Sometimes
Okay.
it will happen in the auto. Yes, I'll be writing.
So, but after you come back and you record it, do you remember it?
Very rarely I forget.
Okay.
And even after a week or 10 days, he would remind me.
you about it.
I'll tell God, see, this time I failed to record, Lord, sorry. And I'm not, to tell you the truth, I'm not able to keep pace with them.
He runs that fast.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So these are all divine downloads that you've been actually receiving.
Yes, yes.
In the and I remember a day when you told me you had come home for my dad's funeral,
Yes.
and you said God gave you a song right there. And
Yes, yes.
could you tell us something about it? Because that's something that really touched my heart.
Yes, it was a song about incarnation.
Okay.
Yes, God taking the form of flesh for our
Okay.
sake. And it was incomplete when I came to your house. I had just started writing. Vartai Tame Mamisamahi.
Okay.
And after all of you left, yes, I was seated right at the place where you had kept the body of your father, and the entire room was filled with God's glory and presence. And stanza after stanza, stanza after stanza, yes, that God came just to pacify man's guilty conscience. Yes, all those stanzas. Yes, I finished writing right at the spot where you had kept the body of your father. Yes, in no time I finished it.
Because that was very amazing for me to listen to, because in an atmosphere where there will be a lot of gloom and
No, it was not at all gloomy.
yeah.
There was such a glorious presence there. So I understood that that man, yes, was a man who had been experiencing God's presence and glory.
Oh, that's so wonderful to listen to you say things like this about my dad, because 3 months after my dad's passed away, I had an encounter. I couldn't take it because he had come to my place where he passed away, and I couldn't really take it. So 3 months later, I had an encounter which was about 3.5 hours, in which God took me to hell, took me to heaven. So when I went to heaven, I happened to meet Daddy there. So that was something that really consoled me. He comforted me.
Yes.
And then that feeling of, he came here to my place and passed away in front of my eyes, that thought left me. And there was a lot of peace that entered. And only later you told me about this encounter where I was really filled with joy listening to what you said, because at that moment of grief when you need comfort, the way the comforter comes in is awesome. Because you told me I have never felt like this in a funeral house, and it was very amazing. What had happened, and it's so beautiful the way God comforts us and edifies us. And so I think wherever we go, when we carry His presence with us, He can do awesome things with us. And apart from you writing your songs, what other venues has He opened for you of late?
Pardon?
What other venues has God opened for you to bring out your talents, or maybe the seeds of greatness that He's put into you, which you may not have known are existing inside of you?
Sometimes He would utter names from the political world.
Okay.
All of a sudden. And that person would be on the headlines for about a week.
Okay. And would you know that person? Are you
sometimes the known person, sometimes I ask my husband, yes.
So you're not very political aware of things that are happening around you.
And he would tell me, see, such and such a thing is going on. Yes.
So it's like God is speaking to you about leaders in the nation.
Yes, and sometimes He gives me names of actresses.
Okay.
Yes.
So people in high places.
Yes, and I'm not I used to see films those days, but I'm totally a stranger to that world. Now. And sometimes, yes, He gives me names. Then people tell me, oh, such a famous actress. So God is concerned about everybody. God is concerned about every single soul.
Because everybody is His creation.
Precious, yes, His creation, and everybody is precious to Him. So who are we to think, oh, this person is insignificant, this person is not important, he's doing ministry, she's just a homemaker. No, God doesn't see that way.
Because we so easily brand people, we put them into brackets.
Yes.
But the way He sees people is awesome.
Yes.
It's so different.
So one thing I have understood is, even raising the dead will be easy. Healing the sick will be easy. Prophesying will be easy. Everything will be easy. Because all those things is not out of your effort. It just happens to you.
Because
just like a child, you've got to receive it, that's all. But the most difficult thing is to exhibit love. One day I was praying desperately, show me the velocity of your power. Show me the depth of your love. Show me the velocity of your power. God stopped me. He said, ask for one of these things. Before I could ask, which one, Lord? I got the answer.
It's love.
Love. So when you operate in love, you will automatically operate in power also.
Yeah, because I think power without love is meaningless.
Yes.
So there, you just bring in authority, and authority is misused when there is no love. So we, being the children of God, our basis is love. It was so interesting listening to your journey, and I know you have tons and tons and volumes of experiences to share with us. And thank you so much for sparing your time, being here with us, and sharing so many experiences. I know each viewer would have been blessed by this. Viewers, I've been blessed. I've really been blessed listening to her and her experiences. As long as Jesus is with us, the supernatural is open for us, because the supernatural God is living inside of us. So the rest of it simply falls into place. So many times we go seeking after the supernatural, but all we need to do is seek after the Lord. The supernatural experiences just follow, because the supernatural God lives with us. So you've been listening to Juliet Sylvester's wonderful walk with Jesus, and I know this will spearhead many of you to have a closer walk, a more intimate walk. And yes, like Enoch, we would walk with God, and finally one day we would walk off with Him. Till then, it's a goodbye, and God bless.
இயேசு என் கண்மலையே, என்றுமே அவருக்குள் நிலைத்திருப்பேன். நான் என்றுமே அவருக்குள் மறைந்திருப்பேன். இயேசு என் கண்மலையே, என்றுமே அவருக்குள் என்